Hi guys, it's Alexa. Welcome back to another video. I wanted to share my experience with the breast pump that I have been using. Honestly, I absolutely love this pump in that it is a wearable breast pump. It's silent, it's pretty discreet. I want to basically show you guys all the parts, how it works, the good and the bad and all of that stuff. This is what it looks like. It is fairly lightweight. And when you pop it in to like pump your breasts and stuff, for the most part, depending on what you're wearing, you can't really tell. You can, I mean, see, look. Who knew? It's fairly silent and pretty discreet. I love that this is so easy to clean, to put together, and to use. Those were super like high points for me when I was looking for a breast pump, because especially as a new mom, I'm trying to figure it all out and I don't really have a lot of time to do stuff like when my baby is finally napping. As much as I would like to nap with him, it's like, well, now let me try and get everything else ready, let me clean the house, let me do this. And with the conventional breast pumps, a lot of the times they're like heavy, they're big, you have to plug them into a wall, you have to sit down and really just like take your time to figure it out. And I love that with this pump, I can go about my business, I can clean the house, I can edit, I can film stuff or just whatever I need to do. I love that it is very small and compact. How it works is that the top part is a little hub, and this is what you plug into the wall so that you can charge it. And then a light at the top comes on and it lets you know when it's charging. It will turn like a yellow color. If it's red, it doesn't have battery. And then once it turns green, that means that it's charged. It has another little buttons here to say left and right, because the fun thing about this pump, it does come with an app. I have not really been using the app. I started using it the first few weeks I was testing out the pump, and it is helpful in the sense that it helps you track how much milk you're pumping on each side. But as of late, I've just been pumping and going and haven't really been paying too much attention to the app itself. Another thing I love about this is how easy it is to put together. This is the breast shield. The breast shields that they sell, I believe, come in 2 standard sizes. If you want a smaller size, you have to order it specially from them. It's so easy to clean. All of these pieces you can like disinfect as soon as you get it with like boiling water for a few minutes and then rinse, and then it's just so easy to put together. So like in the nipple shield, you've got this little rubber guy, no idea what it's called, but it goes right on top here. And this part, this is the hub. So it goes in this little section here, and that's where that goes. Down here is where you're going to have your little bottle. Now this is also one of the main reasons I wanted the Elvie pump as opposed to the Willow pump, even though they both basically look really similar. The Willow pump, I believe, comes with special bags inside that, okay, so if you pump, it goes directly into those bags and you store it. That's great, but the type of bags that that pump uses, I believe you have to buy for like 50 cents a bag, or can't remember, but it has a certain price that you obviously have to keep buying those bags in order to store. This allows you to just right into here, have your milk stored directly in here. You've got, it comes with a little top that you can store it just like that in the fridge, like a bottle, or you can pour it into anything else that you want to store it in. It's just really convenient for storing your milk in other containers, other bottles, freezing it in whatever bags you want. So I really loved that about it. This goes up to 5 ounces, and then it has a sensor in the pump. So if, for example, you're pumping and you're not obviously tracking how much milk you're doing and you're going about your business, it will automatically stop pumping if it senses that the milk is up to like 5 ounces or around there. So that's also really good because it avoids any spill out. You know, we don't want to spill our precious breast milk. I had used a different breast pump for a while. I can't remember the name, But basically it looked pretty much like those conventional breast pumps that comes with like 2 bottles and then huge nipple shields that go on each side. There was just so many things, like so many tubes and things that I had to disinfect, so many different parts, and honestly I could not do it. It took me forever to figure out where all of these tubes went and the parts and this, and then to disinfect everything every time I used it. It was really just like a hassle for me, and then it kind of didn't really make me want to continue to pump. It was just a chore. It was so hard for me to continue pumping, and I really want to try and store as much breast milk as possible. I would love to breastfeed my baby for as long as possible, for as long as he wants, and as long as I'm able to produce breast milk. So in me frequently pumping my breast with the Elvie just kind of like helps maintain my milk supply, and as long as I kind of breastfeed on demand, that's what I've been doing. That's just what's been working for me right now. The only downside is that I only have one. I feel like it's worth the investment to get 2 if you want to really stock up on your breast milk, because if not, what I've been doing is just switching from breast to breast like every other pumping session. I did have a few hiccups along the way. I was using the wrong size. I believe the one that I started using was a little too big, and a way that you can tell is that the lines, they don't really match up correctly with your nipple size. But also here, once you remove the breast pump, this was just dripping down milk. You want to be super careful to not get the hub wet, and I got it wet because I was using the wrong nipple shield. I had no idea, and then it basically just started leaking milk, and I freaked out because I didn't want it to break. Their customer service is amazing because every time I would write to them with like problems, they want to make sure that they get you set up properly, that if you have any questions that they can help you out, and that was really helpful because I would freak out a lot. This part here where you clip in the bottle, it is pretty delicate, and the first few times, I don't know if I was being a little too forceful with it maybe, or I just wasn't clipping it in correctly, and something snapped inside here, and that was really bad because obviously I couldn't use the pump anymore, and I freaked out again. They immediately sent me a replacement. It was just a small ring that kind of helps connect the bottle to this, so it wasn't anything too major, like I didn't break it. So a helpful tip for me that I think really helps in that department now is when you're going to remove the milk, remove this first. You can see the top of the bottle, and then now when you like press to release the bottle, it kind of just like falls out of place. And then if I'm going to put it together, I always start by clipping this in first and then the nipple shield, just to make sure that it's aligned properly, that I'm not being too forceful with it. I don't want to break it again. I always double check. You want to clip it in place, but you don't want to push it too much. That's all it needs. And then now I'll put the nipple shield in. So that's always how I use it. And it's been working like a charm for me. And that, honestly, I don't feel like there's anything else I could say about this breast pump. I have been using it on so many different occasions. For example, we recently went to Puerto Rico to visit my family, and we took Rio with us, obviously, so that they could meet him. That is a really long flight. And for moments like that, for example, I loved that I could pump so discreetly on the plane, and then if my baby wanted milk or something, I could give it to him, no problem. Just pour this into his bottle and he was fine. Again, we've gone on road trips, we've gone on like so many different adventures, so like I would always start by breastfeeding him right before we leave. But then if we're taking 2.5 hours, 3 hours to get somewhere, I could pump on the way, and then I would give him a bottle in the car, and it's just been so helpful. So yeah, who knew I'd be talking about breast pumps on my videos? But honestly, for any of my mamas out there that are breastfeeding, looking for pumps, going through the situation, looking for any kind of reviews, I really hope that this one helps you guys out, because yes, I know it's on the pricey scale, but I truly believe it is worth the investment. It has been really, really good for me, and hopefully it can be good for some of you guys out there too. That's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and follow along, and share with me below in the comments what you guys do for breastfeeding, for pumping, if you're using formula or any of that stuff. Share it in the comments below. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!